A teenage girl emerged from the depths of the Peruvian rainforest, barefoot, beaten, and still alive. The canopy of the rainforest was blocking out the sun, and the only sounds that could be heard were the hiss of predators and the whisper of ancient trees. Juliane Koepcke was her name, and the events that transpired in her life were not fabrications. This was not a script for a movie. The actual event took place, and it continues to be one of the most remarkable accounts of survival that has ever been told. Here is the tale of the young lady who made her way out of the forest after falling from the sky. The crash. A Christmas that turned to horror is a Christmas that turned out to be a horror. It was Christmas Eve, the 24th of December, 1971. Juliane Koepcke, who was 17 years old at the time, and her mother, Maria, boarded LANSA Flight 508, which was a Lockheed Electra turboprop aircraft. The flight was making its way from Lima to Pucallpa, Peru. The purpose of their flight was to meet up with Juliane's father, who was working as a scientist deep within the Amazon rainforest. Juliane had spent her entire life in the forest, as she was the daughter of German zoologists who were working in Peru. She was no stranger to the jungle. Despite this, she was not adequately prepared for what was to come. The aircraft made its way into a strong rainstorm approximately 25 minutes after it had taken off. The aircraft jerked and shook back and forth, and then it destroyed while it was in the air. Lightning had struck the fuselage of the airplane, which resulted in the explosion of the aircraft. Juliane, who was still fastened to her seat, was ripped away from the wreckage and precipitated through the air at an altitude of 10,000 feet. There is no parachute. There is no control. Nothing more than a thrilling free fall into the skies and the turmoil. The impossibility of falling from a height of 10,000 feet without a parachute is a reality. The only way to die is to fall from that height. This is the standard, although Juliane did not follow it, and the experts believe that her descent was slowed down by several variables, including the fact that the row of seats she was strapped to spiraled like a helicopter blade, the deep jungle canopy softened the hit, and the dense foliage acted as a net. Her body was subjected to severe stress, but she managed to survive. A concussion, a broken collarbone, a gash on her leg, and an enlarged eye were among the injuries she sustained when she awoke the following morning on the jungle floor. Her spectacles couldn't be found. A single sandal had disappeared. She wore a sleeveless mini dress as her only form of protection. Out of the 92 persons that were on board LANSA Flight 508, she was the only one who managed to survive. The book, Alone in the Jungle, 11 Days of Survival, is a must-read. Being in the Amazon is not the same as being in the woods when you first wake up. There is not a single trail. There are no cooperative creatures. Venom, sickness, and death are all forms of life that can be found in the jungle. But Juliane recalled the lessons that her parents had taught her. She was aware of what to do despite the fact that she had been injured and was disoriented. She discovered a little brook and proceeded to follow it. Water is the path that leads to civilization, which was a lesson that her father had given her, and she clung to that rule like it was a lifeline. The days went by. Despite being subjected to a never-ending stream of insects, she was struggling against an infection, dehydration, and tiredness. Magnificent maggots were found infesting her wounds. At one point, she was able to hear search planes flying overhead. Nevertheless, the canopy of the jungle was too deep. She remained hidden from view. Her existence was unknown to anyone. She scavenged chocolates from a piece of luggage that had been severely damaged. In the end, she drank from muddy pools, persisted through the persistent rain, and slept on the floor of the bush. There was a choice between life and death at every step. Predators, parasites, and the pain they cause. Snakes that can conceal themselves beneath leaves, jaguars that hunt in quiet, and insects that carry disease are all examples of dangerous animals that may be found in the Amazon. Juliane suffered from insect bites, stings, and swarms. Her sole means of defense consisted of a single sandal, which she used to tap the ground in front of her to frighten away snakes. Viruses continued to spread. Burns appeared on her wounds. Despite this, she continued to move on, this time following the stream further into the bush. Not only was she maintaining her life, but she was also persevering. Salvation. The jungle provides her with her return. On the 9th day, when Juliane was feeling weak and on the verge of collapsing, she came upon a little shack that was an outpost that was used by forest workers. It was empty of people. She continued to wait, drinking water that had become stagnant, unsure of whether or not she would be saved. The local loggers arrived the following day, and they were so surprised to find the girl who had fallen from the sky that they were astonished. A canoe was used to bring her to safety after she was treated for her wounds with kerosene and received medical attention. In the end, she was transported back to civilization via helicopter. The world's reaction is as follows. From victim to legend, the world was taken aback upon hearing of her survival. Some headlines referred to her as the Amazon Angel, the Miracle Girl, and the teen who fell 10,000 feet. On the other hand, Juliane was never excited about stardom. Her survival had come at a price, however. Her mother had passed away as a result of the accident, and Juliane had to deal with not only her physical rehabilitation, but also her profound and personal loss. She traveled back to Germany, where she recovered and continued her education in biology. She finally earned a doctorate in the field, and then she went back to Peru to work in the same rainforest where she had come so close to passing away. The psychological aspect of survival, the reason she still lived. How did Juliane manage to stay alive when 91 other people were killed? It is believed by specialists that her knowledge of the jungle, her will to live, and her calm mindset were the factors that contributed to the outcome. No panic set in for her. She did not watch for help to arrive. She performed a role. Juliane later stated the following in interviews. "I had no choice but to proceed. My parents instilled in me the knowledge that sitting or waiting was a surefire way to die. The only way out was to move forward. It was not a matter of luck. It required a strong will, legacy, novels, motion pictures, and unwavering strength." There have been novels, documentaries, and feature films that have all told the narrative of Juliane. Most notably, the renowned director Werner Herzog created a documentary with the title Wings of Hope. This film was a personal tribute to Herzog, who had narrowly avoided being on the same airplane that was destined to be destroyed. When Juliane published her memoir, When I Fell from the Sky, she recounted every terrible moment, not as a spectacle, but as a reminder of human courage in the face of the unthinkable. She did this in order to help others understand the power that they possess. The girl who walked out of death's grasp is the epitome of the phrase final words. The story of Juliane Koepcke is not limited to the fact that she survived a plane disaster. It is about surviving everything that comes next, including the jungle, the loneliness, the anguish, and the strain of the world watching. However, she had no desire to be a hero. It wasn't her intention to motivate anyone, but she ended up being both. She went on to perform a miracle at a time when miracles were quite uncommon. As a wounded adolescent, she made her way into the Amazon rainforest and walked out as a representation of the unbreakable will of the human race. In the event that you were awestruck by Juliane's narrative, please leave a comment below and share your ideas. Additionally, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons for additional true survival stories, real-life miracles, and in-depth explorations of the stories that demonstrate that the human spirit is unkillable. Are you interested in a dramatic voiceover adaptation or a YouTube script version following that? Say the word, that's all.